The rain may never fall till after sundown, sundown. By 9 p.m. the moonlight must appear, appear, appear. In short, there's simply not a more congenial spot for happily ever aftering than here in Midland, land, 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 land.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the special episode of The Escape Pod.
General podcast.
Yeah, general
Talk
podcast
about
episode. We're
random bullshit.
the first one that's not focused, even though we started this for one particular reason, but there's other stuff that's gonna be talked about.
Well, if you look at the 5 pilots, there was an episode called The Berserk Arkham Knight Rises, so it's not
This is the long-awaited sequel.
I don't think I was there for that one.
No, you weren't.
So is that going to happen later on in the show? We're just going to have guests on and replace people for episodes or so?
Yeah, you got to change it up.
Yeah, I want to have guests. I want to have people come on and be like, hey, how you doing? So, yeah, we're just going to talk about
Random shit, whatever's on your mind.
To date the episode, because I think we have to since we're talking about stuff that's happening around the time period.
Yeah.
It's December 30th, 2015. And the main reason why we did this is because all three of us enjoy Berserk.
Yes.
I think we're all pretty big Berserk fans, but I am the least experienced that's the word, because I've only been into Berserk for a little over a year now, because a year ago today, this month is when I went up to Nathan's apartment and they showed me Berserk and I cried.
Yeah.
Yeah, my experience was just, again, doing all our backstories. So, when I was just starting out watching anime, I'd only watched a few series. I believe I watched Death Note, and then I watched Naruto, and then I watched Avatar, which is technically not an anime, but it is. And I believe I was in the middle of Bleach, where I realized that I had no idea what I was going to watch next. So I went to an anime streaming site, and this is legitimately what I did.
Sweet.
I looked up their list of series that they had dubbed, and I would click on each one, and each one would have like a little poster shot of what it looked like. And if I thought the poster looked cool, then I would look that anime up on IMDb, and if it had a rating of like 7.5 or higher, I would throw it on a list. So I had
this is a whole like.
Yeah, no, this was a journey for me. I still have this list. I'm like halfway through it, but I got to Berserk, and so I watched this, and I was like, wow, this is really interesting. Like, the opening is so cheesy and ridiculous, and really bad English. This is from the TV series, and the animation's a little rough, but God damn, this is great. And, it's just this really dark, really engaging fantasy that's all about camaraderie and the normal man facing this, seemingly insurmountable odds. And then I got to the end of it, which...
And spoiler alert.
Massive.
Rape and death and awfulness. And it just ended, and I was like, holy shit, that's awful. And then I looked up how there were the movies, and I watched the movies, and I was like, holy shit, these were really good. They went through the exact same material as the anime series. And then after a little bit, I finally read the manga and watched the 2 video game movies.
I forgot they were games.
More.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
There are great games.
Have you guys ever seen the poster of Guts and Lara Croft together?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, okay. Okay, good.
It was in a game magazine. It literally says, in real life, Guts and Laura wouldn't play with you, they'd play with each other. I think
oh my god.
I was like, damn, okay.
But yeah, so that was my experience with Berserk. I think I was like halfway through the series when I was like, hey, Josiah, you should look this shit up. This is a really good one. And I think you had told me before that you had heard a little bit about it, and you were just like, yeah, it's basically Game of Thrones, the anime. I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting.
It was so weird whenever you guys showed me it, because I'd never heard of it before.
And
then you guys just sat me down. We watched all 3 movies in a row.
Yeah.
There was perhaps so many tears
The gradual descent was
of my sanity.
was amazing. Like once we got to the third movie, I'm like, this is going to hurt, and you're going to love it.
I'm curious, had we watched the movies together before, Josiah, or did you watch them for the first time on your own?
I did watch
can't
them on my own, or at least
Okay.
the first two I did. I don't remember because you were like, "Hey, watch these," and I found places to watch them somehow. I don't even remember.
I think it was really funny when I was watching the last episode and my roommate came in, having never seen any of the other series. So I'm like halfway through the final episode, which is some stuff is happening. And he just like sits down in the background and just like really silent, just kind of looking. And then I finished it, and then I was like looking up stuff about the movies, and I saw some shots from the movies of how it was really like, the animation was really, really good. And I was like, hey, you want to watch the Berserk movies? And he was just like, is that what you were just watching? I was just like, no, that's the series. Just like, no. Just like, no. Trust me, it's going to be really good.
Yeah, I think kind of where I came from is I'd always heard stories about Berserk, and I guess unfortunately, I kind of I heard that, oh, it's just like, violent and stereotypical adult anime, I guess.
And it's so not.
It's a shame because then I started to hear, oh no, it's one of the best anime ever. And then I saw I think I watched, I don't know, I saw some clips and like reviews, and I'm like, the animation looks okay. But I don't know. The reviewer was, they kind of like. Then I watched another review, and I was just interested. And I'm like, I'll get to it eventually. I'm sure it's good, but I'll get to it eventually. And then Nathan was like, "Dude, you have to fucking watch Berserk." And I was like, "You mean that one that I saw on your list, and I told you should watch it?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, I don't know. And I think how it was is it's not that I didn't want to watch the series. I think you said, just watch the movies. It'll get you the story really quickly, and they look a lot better.
That's right.
You're like, just watch the movies, and you'll get the gist of it. And if you like them, then you're gonna like Berserk. So I just watched them, and I was like, oh, holy shit, this is so good. And then I got to the last episode, and I was so floored that I was like, well, I know this is only like a third of the manga. So then I think I read the manga before you did, actually.
I think, I'm trying to remember, because I think you at least started it, but then I think you veered off and finished off the Game of Thrones books.
Yeah.
So I finished the manga before you did, but then I still had like 2 more books from Game of Thrones to watch by the time you had finished both Game of Thrones and Berserk.
That's that's probably what happened. I went like over halfway through the series. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of stopped for a bit, and then I immediately just read the rest of it.
Yeah,
so
I'm slowly going through the Berserk manga now. Like I'm on volume 7, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still in Golden Age.
Yeah, I'm still in Golden Age. Yeah, I remember. I think one night I read through the first 5. I messaged Josiah being like, "This is fucking amazing," and then I think I started working on a new project, so I started to teeter off it. I remember it's weird because I never heard of Berserk before until you guys subjected me to pain. But then after that, I kept hearing about it. Like I remember I was at when I was working at Nintendo, someone across the cubicles from me, like on the other side, I heard them mention Berserk, and I was like, "What the fuck's going on over there?" Berserk. It's a thing where like once you hear something or you experience something, then everyone talks about it.
Yeah.
Because whenever I'm on, I used to be on. Now I'm on Kiss Anime, the real place to stream anime. Before I was on random sites that would have little like chat boxes on the side.
Oh yeah.
And people would like talk about series that they liked, and every now and then I'd be like, "Hey, what about Berserk?" And then they'd like go on with a conversation, and then like 1 or 2 people would be like, "Dude, I can't even talk about Berserk. Berserk is the best. Like, there's nothing to say." And I'm just like, "That's right, man."
Yeah,
fucking right.
And so the reason why we're talking about Berserk now is because, well, I think the hardcore, the true fans should talk about what happened recently.
So for those of you who don't know, Berserk is a manga that came out in the prototype chapter came out in 1988. The series began in 1989, written by Kentaro Mayuri. It is a dark fantasy manga with that is taken heavily from European perspective, that sort of design and character and land stuff, and it's gorgeous. It comes out once a month or irregularly because the art style is so much higher class than probably any other manga you've ever heard of.
And isn't it just him doing it?
It's just him doing it.
He does everything.
So then in 1997, I want to say, they adapted the first, not the first, but the one of the biggest arcs into an anime series.
Which is the earliest in the timeline of the story, I think, right?
Yeah. There's a later bonus chapter in between an arc that goes back to sometime in Get's childhood.
Yeah.
But basically.
So they go through that arc and then it just stops. And then it goes on for a little bit longer. A video game comes out that is adapting a later part of the manga, and then there's another one that comes out written and designed by Kentaro Mauri that takes place between two volumes. That is technically canon, but not really, but it is.
It is, but it's not. But everybody, like, half the people say it isn't, and half the people say it is.
Yeah. And then in starting around 2009, this this group of people said, hey, we are going to adapt the entirety of the Berserk manga into a film series. So in 2000, I want to say it was 2011. Was it 2011?
Yeah.
Early 2011.
Yeah.
Early 2011, the first of the Golden Age arc movies came out. Then early 2012, and then later 2012, the other two movies came out, adapting essentially the same material as the anime, a little bit less because it's movies and not a series.
Yeah.
But it goes a little bit farther.
It goes a little bit farther. And then it stopped. And there hadn't been any word of any continuation. And then, just about a month ago, there was news of a new Berserk animation on the horizon. This one by a different studio.
The studio?
It's NBC Universal.
But they said it's Kuro. But that's not an established studio, so I think it's a new studio.
Okay. So they have announced plans for a new Berserk animation that will be coming out in 2016, along with a special Blu-ray release of the original 97 series. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
But it's like $148, though.
Yeah.
Damn it, never mind.
So my little not crappy, but my limited edition DVD box set of the series will be all I have for now. But so that plan has been announced. So Berserk animation coming 2016. Don't know if that means new TV series, new movie series, new OVAs, but it does look like it is new material. It does not look like they're doing the Golden Age arc again.
Yeah,
Thank God.
And wait a minute. Here's the trailer. And, oh yeah, hey, look, you watched the trailer.
Oh yeah, it was great. So I feel like
Sorry.
just sort of, you're good. Just sort of looking at it, it honestly kind of reminds me of the progression of the Chronicles of Narnia films, because, and stay with me on this. Stay with me on this.
Yeah. No, I want to hear more.
I believe the first two were produced by Disney and Walden Media, but the Voyage of the Dawn Treader was produced by 20th Century Fox, and I believe that's what Silver Chair is going to be too, if it ever
Are they still
comes
doing
out.
movies?
Apparently, I don't know.
Really? All right.
So I think that it looks like if and only if the Berserk series continues in animated format, which I hope to God it does, it's going to bounce around studios along the way, but it's more or less going to tie in together.
So that's what
all right. And I think that it is going to be a continuation from the movies, just based on how it's continuing that style of animation of mixing 2D hand-drawn animation with the 3D CGI animation. So overall, I'm really, really interested in seeing what this is. I assume, like, since they're like advertising it as Berserk animation, I assume it's a series of OVAs.
Mm-hmm.
That could be just being wishful thinking and hoping that they're doing like Hellsing Ultimate style.
2 a year, I think it was.
Yeah, 2 a year. Each OVA covers a volume.
Many years.
That would be many years. Maybe a little bit more for Berserk. I don't know how fast-paced the Hellsing manga is in comparison to Berserk, so maybe 2 or 3 volumes.
My biggest fear is that this animation will go past where Berserk is, because Berserk is so slow-moving.
I think if they do that, then they'll just like stop, because I can't picture them doing Berserk filler.
No,
thank
thank
God.
God. Because like the original anime has like a few filler scenes, maybe like 1 filler episode, but you can't notice.
Yeah.
It's well integrated.
But I do think, even though it is different studios, I think it is continuing the story from the movie's perspective based on how it is.
Yeah, because
2D animation.
It looks so much like the movies do.
It does. I want to say that it looks better, but to me it also looks much weirder. Like, the fusion is interesting.
I'm not the biggest fan of the CG, like in the movies, but this looks a little bit like it's more acceptable, I think. But still weird.
I'd have to see it. It's a teaser. Like, I think Nathan and I have talked about this, but we said as long as they adapt the story faithfully and kind of present it in a really good way, I'm fine with CG. Like, I think Nathan and I both agree that by the 3rd movie, the CG is pretty well integrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably best to continue from the movies, go chronological. Just show us the stuff that we haven't seen aside from that first episode in the 90s.
Yeah, you pointed out how the like the poster, the promotional poster for it is from the Lost Children arc, but the animation is from the Black Swordsman arc.
Yeah, so I think they might do both.
I think they might. It looks like they're going to do both. I'm hoping. Again, in a perfect world, Berserk would be given an anime with Attack on Titan or Fate Stay Night style animation, but I understand that there are limitations in this world. There's no such thing as perfection, so whatever.
Except for the show, am I right? Am I right, guys? I'm top.
Except for the manga, yeah. But you know, as long as they're. But I think the best thing for them to do now, rather than restart again and go through all the same stuff, would just be to continue the format of the movies. Since that's more recent, and just do like a trilogy of story arcs at a time.
Mm-hmm. And also, we should talk about the cast of Berserk, because that's a big thing.
Yeah, so unlike the Japanese, the English cast stayed. Most of them stayed from the original anime to the movies. The games, they have different voice actors, but you know, that's a little bit different.
Yeah, fuck them.
But see, that's not something to be taken lightly. Looking at animes, it's much more like, it's very rare for them to recast people in Japanese, in the original Japanese. Like, all of the characters in like Dragon Ball Super were around in original Dragon Ball. Like, they hang on to their actors. So whereas the English dub can change and like recasts quite often. Well, like Berserk's the exact opposite. Yeah, like that. But yeah, but the fact that the movies kept the same cast from the 90s anime series is a really big deal, and it was really nice. And I think that shows how popular Berserk is in the Western world in comparison to Japan.
And it's also a great cast.
It is so good. Mark Derison as Guts is like pinnacle, and Kevin T. Collins is great. Really great.
Yeah.
I mean, Femto doesn't pop up as much early on. Like, he shows up in the Black Swordsman arc, the Count arc, and then I don't think he shows up again until the transformation, like, Oh wait, so I was not that until much later on.
Yeah,
but
that like until the put the words back in my mouth. Hold on.
Nothing. He doesn't show up.
Should I take my headphones off for this?
I mean, you'll have to edit it. So,
Shit, that's right.
no.
I edit these.
He's not going to spoil anything.
Damn it.
Yeah, I can't. So,
Because we know that you don't know what happens after the Golden Age.
Yeah,
So
I'm totally like fresh faced.
other than the thing they showed before Golden Age, which happened after, whatever.
Yeah, fuck it, whatever.
But yeah, just know Griffith is not as around for a bit, as much as he was in Golden Age. But even so, like in the freaking the third Berserk movie, Griffith barely speaks, and they still got him back. So they just hold on to that
Also,
guy.
that guy's
And same with
amazing.
he's so good. Same with Casca. I feel bad that I don't remember her name. I think it's Carrie something. I can't remember. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Casca. You're wonderful. Also, again, sort of same deal. She doesn't talk as much because she went through some things. But even so, it would be great to have her back.
She went through some things.
well, yes, delicately put.
Yeah, that's
Delicate for those of you that don't know.
Casca's
yeah,
was
just-
like Carrie Karanen.
Ah,
Karen?
okay. I knew it was Carrie something. But I
I'm
can't
gonna
remember.
send it to the group chat so you can pronounce that better than I ever did.
Karenin?
Karenin?
I don't know.
Her.
Carrie Fisher?
Carrie Fit. Oh my god.
Fisher.
That would be very
There's always a
different.
there's always a Star Wars joke somewhere in every episode.
I'm sorry. It'll wear off
Always.
eventually.
Yeah, it's only
And then it will come back once Rogue One and Episode 8 comes out.
yeah,
Oh
man.
god. Yeah.
I can't wait till we do the prequels abridged. What?
We should. We could do that.
Yeah, I was
mean,
thinking about it. Whenever I was editing that episode and you spoke over Anakin
I'm just
lines.
I'm just a simple pimp trying to make his way in the universe.
Jesus.
You know you want.
Yeah, but I'm really really curious. Like I think it's equally possible for them to recast, but as it is to keep the same cast. Because I was looking at, again, talking about studios and rights. I believe that the original Berserk anime was dubbed by Blue Oceans, which subsequently got, and then the rights transferred to Viz. So Viz dubbed the movies, and Viz is a subsidiary of Warner Brothers, because everything is Warner Brothers owns everything. But this new thing is NBC. So
But isn't NBC a channel owned by Warner Brothers?
that's what I don't know. But assuming it isn't, I don't know if they
Who
could.
owns what?
But at the same time, looking at like Mark Derison's own company history, he's worked for Blue Oceans and then Viz and then 4Kids. and
Yeah, he did.
Now he does a thing or two for Funimation. So I think he's kind of like Matthew Mercer, and he isn't like he must just not be specifically based anywhere. He must just sort of be available for everything.
Yeah, looking at his filmography, he's very like he'll just do random things here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah,
he hasn't
exactly.
really he's only done one thing since Golden Age Arc 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was a male teacher in some random anime, I think.
I've heard him. Yeah, I know he was.
And that was the same year. So he hasn't really done anything since Berserk. That we know
wow.
of anyway.
I know that Kevin T. Collins is the same way. Like he's barely done anything between the Berserk anime and the Berserk films.
He does a lot of small stuff. He does.
Also, he's a musician.
Oh, that's right.
So that stuff. If you go on his page, he's got his stuff listed there.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Wait, he was in Gotham?
Oh my god!
What?
He played.
I don't believe
Okay,
you.
so
Wait,
I
wait,
haven't
Kev-
I
Kevin
haven't
T.
seen.
Collins?
Yeah, I haven't seen Gotham.
Oh
Shit,
god!
no.
That retrospective is gonna wait 10 years.
Yeah. He was in season 1, episode 17. It was
Well,
in
the thing
the Red
is-
Hood episode.
Oh.
wow. Okay.
Oh.
She's just a random thug member.
Ah, shit!
Yeah.
Really?
Damn. I wish he was the Red Hood.
Oh my god!
For a second, I thought he was. I was like, was he that crazy guy that was like being the Red Hood and all?
No.
Oh,
Let's
man,
not
he's
talk
just-
about Gotham.
Let's not.
Please.
I know nothing
Back to
about the
Berserk.
DC TV universe.
It's not in the TV universe.
Is it
It's
not?
No, it's not. It's not connected at all.
What
It
the
is not.
fuck, DC? Get your
It's
shit
not-
together.
No, it's good. And Supergirl is basically not canon.
It
thank God.
might be.
I hope not.
It just might be.
When are we gonna do our Supergirl watch through?
Oh, I thought about it. I thought about Supergirl, and then I was like, fuck, I don't hate myself that much.
Yeah. I like how there's all these easy targets that we're just not going for.
Yeah,
because they hurt too much.
why should we go the extra mile for them? Why should I give them the PR? The 40 people who listen to this show will just be like, you know, I think I'm going to watch an episode of Gotham, and I'll be like, why did I do this?
I'm so
Like,
sorry.
you guys made it sound awful. I'm gonna watch it now.
Yeah, right.
No.
I don't need this. So yeah, for I believe for the Berserk animated movies cast, I was thinking about it, stewing on it. I think they got everybody back.
Except for Corcus.
Corcus's voice actor died.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he
Okay.
died, so they had to replace him. And then I think
Most of the God Hand changed, or half of the God.
yeah. Void stayed the same.
Void stayed the same. Did Conrad?
I
I
no,
feel like he.
Conrad is voiced by Sean Schemmel.
Oh, that's right.
He is. He goes, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's Sean Schemmel.
Who's Sean
know
Schemmel?
that-
Fill in the audience who doesn't know.
Goku.
Goku.
Okay.
Goku. Yeah, he's also.
He's also a Gaston.
Gaston.
In Berserk.
No one dies like Gaston.
No one
Aw.
dies like Gaston.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else did.
I know Slant is recasted, but she sounds really, really similar. I forget what's the guy's Ubek.
Yeah, Ubik.
Yeah, he got recasted, and he was played by
Gara,
he's one of my favorite voice actors. What's his name? Liam O'Brien. He was played by Liam O'Brien in the movies. I hope he sticks around because he did a great job, and I love Liam O'Brien.
Oh, and he also
Like-
voiced the Torturer in the beginning.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh my
The Torturer
god.
was so gross.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
not
I'm on the
I like-
IMDb, so it's like I'm just watching. IMDb is it's so bad with the cast and getting everyone.
In anime.
Yeah, it's such
because
shit.
nobody knows. There's like anime studios, like you wander in and then you voice like a random background character you hear for like half a second, and it's
Yeah.
like, do we credit them? Not really, but they were there.
I'm really interested in who's going to voice Puck the fairy.
Yes.
Oh yeah, because Puck has never really been in the. Was he in the '90s anime?
No,
No, they cut him out. They cut out a lot of stuff.
Okay.
they cut out a lot of the fantasy elements of it
Aside
until
from
the
Zod.
end.
Because
Aside from Zod.
I know that Puck's in the movies, but he never talks.
Yeah, he's just a cameo.
Yeah, he can. Which I really enjoy that because it's
Yeah.
kind of like you see him in like okay, that's whatever, but then he's actually a character later on.
There's two other characters that become like a part of the main cast. They make a very brief cameo in the second movie.
Oh, it's so cool.
yeah.
I love shit like that. Like I love shit where it's like you see them like early on, you're like, wait, that's not someone important, and then they become important like years later.
Yeah, I think a lot of people shit all over the movies because they had to cut a lot of stuff. But
Yeah.
I think they did it in the most honest way they could, in a means of like not as a means of excluding something, but as a means of keeping pacing and throwing in random cameos from Puck and those other two characters really helped to make it feel more tied into bigger things.
Honestly, I wish that every movie had been the same length. Because
Yeah.
there's a few things with Guts' backstory and then general that Griffith sleeps with that I wish were in the first and second movies, but they were shorter.
Mhm.
But I understand. Everything else, you got to tighten up that story.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't need the Walled story arc.
No, I don't need that.
The movies aren't perfect, but they're pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Like it's just little things that are cut out. Like I think that for Guts' backstory, you can probably do that for an episode of the show if they want to.
And they might.
Yeah.
If they're doing it, well, I think they might do flashbacks because that's the thing is that
There'd be a cool nightmare sequence where like he's having a nightmare one night and I don't know. Or one day because he can't really sleep.
and Gambino turns into Griffith.
Oh
I'm
my
joking.
God.
Oh no.
So yeah, like I said, curious to see who voices Puck. I think it would be really funny if it was the guy who voiced him in the video game.
Oh.
I think it's also incredibly unlikely.
Probably not.
But that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I should voice Puck. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
What?
exactly.
No, you know who should? Steve Bloom. I'm just joking.
Oh my god.
Troy Baker.
Shit. Shut up, Josiah.
I'm trying to come up with like actual people here.
I'm so pissed that I'm like a mild Metal Gear Solid fan. One thing is in the original Metal Gear Solid, I think in 1, the guy who voiced Miller was Cam Clark. And if you don't know who Cam Clark is and his relation to me, Cam Clark voiced the character of Pavel in Neverwinter Nights, whose name
wow.
then led to the show that's also on this channel. In the newest game, they replaced Cam Clark as Miller with fucking Troy Baker, and I was so mad.
Didn't they make Ocelot Matthew Mercer?
Some bullshit. It was so.
I didn't like.
I'm gonna look it
I mean,
up.
I like Matthew Mercer, but changing Ocelot's voice actor.
No, it was Ocelot who's Troy Baker,
Oh.
and then Robin Atkin Downs is Miller.
Okay. Robert Atkin Downs, yeah.
But still, they recasted Miller. Like, fuck you. I like Cam Clark.
No, that's the old ways.
Damn it.
We
Hi,
need Chris Pine.
Miller.
Did I told you, Josiah, about like one of the original casting of Solid Snake, right?
No, you didn't. What?
It's been a while though. So I watched an interview with this one voice actor that I really like, and one of the questions they asked him was, what's one of your biggest regrets? Like, what's the one role? What's a role that you really wanted but you never got? And he said that a long time ago, when Metal Gear Solid was first, like, when they were first talking about bringing it to the U.S., he got to voice Snake for, like the preview, the pitch to the people. But then that original pitch to the US fell through and it didn't work, and then it came back years later and finally was dubbed, but it was with different people. So the very original, the person who first had the opportunity to voice Solid Snake was Christopher Sabat, the voice actor of Vegeta and Piccolo and Zoro and a bunch of really badass characters in a lot of Dragon Ball Z and Funimation shows.
That's funny.
And I was just so sad because I love Chris Sabat. I was like, that could be cool. I might actually play Metal Gear games if I could listen to him. But I was like, oh, I'm sorry.
Play Metal Gear games. They're amazing.
I could.
What's so
I
wrong
don't think
with
they're his
them?
cup of tea.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
Yeah.
I have an incredibly limited game palette, and I acknowledge it.
Oh, okay. I've only played to completion. I've played 3, and that's it. I've watched through the cutscenes.
The best one.
Yeah, I watched through the cutscenes of 1 and 2, and I've started playing Peace Walker, but I'd stopped because I wasn't in the mood for it anymore. Also, because Peace Walker is so different and so weird, because it's all just missions, and I like the linear story of 3. I guess because I just didn't want to. I guess because the draw of Metal Gear is the wacky characters and story, not the gameplay. And Peace Walker felt very gameplay heavy. But I can't play Phantom Pain until I play through Peace Walker because it's like a timeline thing, and
I played Ground Zeroes and I can't believe I paid that much money for like one mission.
It's a preview.
I know, but why was it?
You were deceived.
Well, there's a lot of
I
like.
thought it was going to be at least another mission.
Isn't there a lot of like side stuff you can do and like little things and
Probably, but I'm not good enough at the game.
Yeah, a big thing about Metal Gear is like going around and using all the Kodak calls and finding out everything and just listening to people talk.
I'm just not that good.
Yeah, it's okay. I remember when I was over at your place and you were playing. You were trying to fight Ocelot in the first game.
God damn
And
it!
you were
Yeah,
so grumpy.
I was grumpy. I was like, I'm just gonna beat this, and then I finished. I'm like, fuck you, Ocelot.
And you kept on being like, okay, all right, one more time. All right, one more time. Okay, just one more time. I got this. All right, one more time. It was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
Like I said, curious to see who voices Puck. I think it would be really funny if it was the guy who voiced him in the video game.
Oh.
I think it's also incredibly unlikely.
Probably not.
I'm trying to come up with like actual people here.
Like, fuck you. I like Cam Clark.
Take my love, I'll never ask for too much. Just all that you are and everything that you do. You bastard! And I don't really want to go very much farther. Oh, I don't really want to go where you won't follow. Don't make me close any doors. I don't want to hurt anymore.
What's keeping you?
Stay in my arms if you dare. Must I imagine you there? Don't walk away from me, 'cause I have nothing, nothing, nothing. I said don't walk away. If I don't have